Hello, everyone. It's your girl, Regina Sunshine, coming to you from what is always a beautiful day for me here in Douglasville, Georgia, with the Regina Sunshine Show, where I bring you my version of midday motivation, helping you get a Regina Sunshine state of mind. And I'm so excited about today's show. I know you're going to be blessed by the guests we have here. We have the ladies from Nuna Organic Essentials in the building, Mr. James Cockerham and Mr. Glenn Jones as well. It's going to be an amazing show. And I look forward to you meeting our guest. Before we get to that, I always have announcements at the beginning of the show. And this week is Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Empowerment Week. We launch tomorrow night with our online kickoff, but this is our third year of celebrating everything that makes us women. And I'm so excited about the women who are traveling here through the course of the week to participate in different events and to just celebrate each other and love on each other the way God created us as sisters to love each other. On Thursday night, we're going to have a spoken word event at Urban Grind with Journey Poetess. And if you've been watching my post about this, I'm 47 years old and have been writing poetry since I was a child and have never read any of my poetry or anything that I've written in public. Well, it's been on my bucket list, and so Thursday night, and I'm already nervous just thinking about it, I'm going to read some of my pieces at Urban Grind. Journey already made a flyer and everything, and put my picture on it. So 7 o'clock Thursday night, Urban Grind down at on Marietta Street, downtown Atlanta. Join us for her regular Cheaper Than Therapy open mic event, but we have changed it to the Curvy and Confident edition, and I will be there reading a piece. And just to kind of go ahead and get the jitters out of the way, before I end this segment, I'm going to read a piece to y'all, so y'all will hear it first. Don't laugh, Tansy, don't laugh. And it's not really poetry. I guess it's just words from my heart. And I will share more about that. Let me get on past that before I get nervous and not read it to y'all. But and then Friday night we'll be doing a live taping of our show here at Regina Sunshine Global Network, The Curve, which is a roundtable women's talk show from a curvy women's perspective. And so we'll be doing that as well. We'll be announcing that location probably tomorrow night during our live kickoff. And then on Saturday, we are having the third annual Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Awards right here at Regina Sunshine Global Network. We are so excited. We have got 12 amazing women that we're honoring, from judges to political figures, from models to moms, you name it. We've got some amazing women that we'll be honoring on Saturday. And just wanted to give you guys a heads up on some of our entertainment. Our event is going to be hosted by comedian Jen Thomas, who last year toured and opened for Cat Williams. I forgot for just a second, but she's a tremendous host and entertainer. She actually was our host last year. Everybody loved her, so we invited her back. We're opening up our event with the only guy that I invite to open my events, JJ Day, all around entertainer. He sings everything from blues to R&B to you name it, and he's going to be here opening up. And then for those who know that I am a big spoken word fan, we've got 2 spoken word artists performing on Saturday. Divine Rhymes is doing his rendition of My Black Queen. If you've never heard it, I can't wait for you to hear it. You'll leave here as a black woman ready to fly away. It's so beautiful. And from Greenville, South Carolina, Bittersweet. She is actually one of my favorite spoken word poets. She does a piece about being a plus size woman and standing in front of a mirror and taking off all her clothes and talking about everything she sees and how she loves every part of herself. And so she's going to be doing that piece on Saturday as well. And so I can't wait for you guys to be here for that. And then for the first time, we changed up our fashion show to do something a little bit different, more empowerment based. And so we're going to have a plus size queen fashion show. So a bunch of queens from different areas going to come in with their crowns and their glittery dresses. I don't know exactly what they're wearing, but they're going to model, and they're also going to talk about their platforms and why they have decided to go into, I guess, the pageant world. And our keynote speaker, our special guest speaker, We normally don't have a man, but we do have a man this time. His name is Kelvin Troy Johnson. They call him Love Coach ATL, and he's going to be here sharing a word of encouragement to our women. So it's going to be a lot going on, and I'm looking forward to it. If you've ever been to one of my events, I always say the same thing. I don't do stuffy, come and sit and be cute events. I do come and meet who's in the room and fellowship and love on each other and have a good time events. As the Nuna ladies can tell you from being a part of our Awesome Girl Awards, it's all about creating a space for people to love on each other and leave feeling good. You know, you met some great people, you were encouraged, you were empowered, and now you take that energy out into the world so you can be the same thing for other people. All right, so that is this Saturday, 9:30 to 12. You can get your event tickets on Eventbrite, or you can get them here at the door. Again, we are at 4040 Chapel Hill Road, Douglasville, Georgia. Sweet Tea in Douglasville, Georgia. Free parking. That's rare, like, right, y'all? Free parking. This Saturday, but we're gonna have an amazing time. All right, so I think that's it for my announcements to give me time to read this piece. I always go to my first break talking about what I'm thankful for, and I'm gonna read this without crying, Tansy. I am. 'Cause I'm gonna keep these lashes on. Don't you look at me like that. I am who I am. Today, I'm thankful for experiences, even if they don't turn out the way you want them to, but you learn from them and you grow. And Tansy's looking at me like, "Her, don't you cry on the show today." And you take what you can from them to move forward and be better in life. And I had an experience, I had the opportunity this year to get to know someone truly amazing, and who I thought, and I'm being very transparent today, was my soulmate. And it turned out that that wasn't what it was, and he chose to be with somebody else, to do something different. But the thing that it did do for me is this: I hadn't written in many years. When I say years and years, and over the last 8 months, I've written more than I have. And so it reignited something inside of me. And so you have to be thankful, right? You have to be thankful for what you get from a situation. So I'm going to read one of the positive pieces that I wrote. And Saturday, on Thursday night at Urban Grind, you can come and get the real other pieces. But this is one called "I Want to Love You." It says, "I want to love you all over. Transfer every ounce of my love to you. Cover your face with my kisses and your heart with my prayers. I want to love you forever. Spend my days serving you and my nights dreaming of you, knowing I'll wake on the mountaintop with my dreams manifested. I want to love you in the dark and listen to the sound of your breathing as it creates clouds of eternity between us, rubbing your back and knowing the sands of many lifetimes slide between my fingers. I want to love you in silence and let my thoughts drift to the heavens and dance with your thoughts, returning to earth only to behold the majesty of your existence. I want to love you in peace, knowing that worlds imagined inside of us are completed when you enter into my sacred spaces and lay your head. I want to love you in laughter, having joy rising from your vocal cords and basking in the sun of your pleasure and resting there. I want to love you in the moonlight, spin around until I'm drunk on you, sobering up only to take another sip. I want to love you in the breeze, feeling your cheek against mine and losing myself in your gaze, finding my safe space inside your armor. I want to love you in the rain, dripping in our hopes of a lifetime of love like this, clinging to the reality in our arms. I want to love you in every imaginable space, knowing that wherever you are, I am, unable to separate our souls, being one in universal consciousness and realizing our forever is already inside each other. So it has ignited something inside of me, I'll say that. And if I never love anybody the way that I've loved this man, I'm thankful for the opportunity to have loved him. Second thing that I'm thankful for is answered prayers. Over the last couple of months, I have really been very specific in the things that I've been asking God for and the prayers that I needed answered, and went back to what I know in terms of speaking and confessing and renewing my mind and being on point and writing everything down, writing down every vision and making it plain. And in the last couple weeks, everything that I've written down has manifested. When I say everything I asked for financially has showed up, every blessing that I've asked for my family. I talked last week about my son and his UFC dream and how we finally met the coach that we needed to take him to the UFC. Everything that I've asked God for has shown up. And so today, I'm thankful for answered prayers and, and him reminding me that he who loves me knows me and loves me to the point that he will move heaven and earth to make my heart's desires come true. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the ladies from Nuna Organic Essentials here on the Regina Sunshine Show with Regina Sunshine. All right, you guys, you are back live on the air at Regina Sunshine here at Regina Sunshine Global Networks for the Regina Sunshine Show. And I'm so excited to introduce you to our first guest for the day. Welcome, the ladies of Nuna. I said it right, Nuna?
Yes.
Organic Essentials. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Look, almost in unison. Does that happen a lot?
Yes.
Well, do this. Tell our audience a little bit about who you are and what you do.
All right. My name is Rosemary, and I am marketing director for New Organic Essential Oils. Our products are 100% natural oils that are used for several uses. I enjoy these products because I am a testimony of the product. Having scoliosis for many years and dealing with that, allowing me to find a product that can help me with my pain and not using medication and not using opioids, it's really helped change me and show me a better way to healthier lifestyle using essential oils. So I love the product and I really enjoy it.
And my name is Letitia Nieves, and I am the operations manager of Nuna Organic Essential Oils and Soaps. And I am also a product of the product as well.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I normally like to mention how I met someone, and I can't remember did we meet on social media? How did you guys end up at the Awesome Girl Awards?
We actually found you on Eventbrite, and we were like, we have to be a part of this event.
Did y'all have a good time?
We had a
Man.
blast. It was awesome.
It was amazing. I told everyone about it. For days, I was amazed by the young girls and their accomplishments.
Yes.
Well, thank
Wonderful
y'all.
job too.
Well, I had to give a thank you to you guys. I always tell people that for me, vendors are vendor partners, and that without the vendors, we aren't able to do events like that. So I thank you guys for supporting our efforts with the Offering Girls, and now you're coming back for the Curvy and Confident Awards.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So let's talk more about the product. So you guys both mentioned that you are personal, testimonials
Yes.
of the product. Before that, what were you doing?
Wow.
You go ahead.
Gonna start.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, actually, used to teach early childhood development. So I was with kids.
Okay.
I loved the children. Actually, when I was a teacher, I had several pains. That's where my pain came.
Okay.
Handling the kids, lifting, a lot of my pain came from that. And I said, there has to be something that I can use. And when introduced to the products, it totally changed my way of healing and of using ways for, I guess, for me to feel better as far as my scoliosis. And so knowing that I can find a product that's natural, I was like, wait a minute, I don't have to take pills and feel some type of way. It made me feel happy that if I can feel this way, I want to make other people feel that way too. So I decided to want to share that with other people and to help them feel good like I did. So that's how I pretty much, yeah.
Awesome.
And I worked for a marketing company, and actually had to stand on my feet a lot. I worked for like some of the big box companies, and I would have to go into different stores and do different things, and so I would have to stand on concrete all day long. And as a result, I started to have severe pains in my feet and legs. And it was actually our oils that reduced the pain. I was to the point where the doctors were talking surgery on my feet, because that's the answer to everything these
Yeah.
days, surgery. So all I did was soak my feet in hot water and oils, non organic essential oils, and it reduced my pain significantly. And that became my medicine from that day forward.
Wow. So
Yes.
the fact that you guys went from customers or people, I guess, who were using the product to now people who stand behind it says a
Yes.
lot about what you believe in terms of
Yes.
is usefulness. So give us a little background on Organic.
Okay, so New Organic Essential Oils is local here in Atlanta. They've done so many things in the community with different projects. They cater to everybody. So men and women, families and children. They have oils for PTSD, anxiety relief, ADHD, hair growth. One of the things that made me so happy is I had a client, actually. She was a cancer survivor, and she lost her hair, and she was trying to find ways to get her hair to grow. And I met her at an event, and when she started using our hair boom breeder growth oil, the results amazed me, because she would tell me how the products work so good for her. The soaps as well too. She would get boils from her chemo treatments
Wow.
all over her body, and her husband would get the soaps and use them on her skin, and they would just immediately go away. And she'll call me in the middle of the night and say, I have Charlie horses and I'm using extreme strength. So seeing that makes me happy. I love to serve, as an individual, but that really taught me that, wow, we have just a great product to really share with others in different levels of life that works. If it works for me, it'll work for them, but it works in a different way. But to see that results made me so excited about, enthusiastic about being a part of the product. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's how the journey began.
Yeah. So one of the most amazing things, like she said, is being able to not only share our testimonies and our stories about how the products helped us, but to be able to share those moments with individuals when they feel that relief, or when it has helped them with something that they have been struggling with for a very long time, and they thought that there was nothing they can do. They're gonna have to deal with this pain or this rash or whatever it is, because the doctors can't help them. And something as simple as essential oils relieves their symptoms.
I love that. So many people are looking for holistic approaches to health and wellness now, as opposed to always, a medicine you're taking every day or a surgery. So this is great information for those that are looking for others alternatives, for other answers. What are some of the, I guess, conditions that I guess your customers or your clients are coming to you most about?
I would say asthma, allergy, because we have an oil that helps with both. We actually have even children who use it in their humidifiers or their treatments. Um, we also have people come to us mostly for our pain relieving oils. We have oils that do help relieve inflammation in the body.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we have your poster here. You said there was a lot of great information. What is it specifically that you want to share that we have here?
Okay. I would definitely say that one oil in specific, I think that's a great oil for people, would be our extreme strength oil. As you can see the diagram above, there's different areas of pain that's showing where you have the most pain. And what's most important about an individual is, like, your health is your wealth. Your well-being is the most important asset in your entire life. And we all struggle with pain, adults, children, even animals. So the thing that I think that people are struggling most is the pain. And so if we have a product that would work, like extreme strength, using that on a day-to-day basis for your ailments, it will help you become a better individual with your lifestyle. It'll help you with going about day-to-day basis. Like me with my scoliosis, like I tell people all the time, I've had severe pain since I was 13 years old. So I've tried it all as well. They wanted me to do surgery when I was younger. I didn't do the surgery, but as I got older, it got worse. And so I'm like, there is a solution to everything, and I think Nuna is a great product for that, with extreme strength oil for whatever pain you have, whether you have sciatica, whether you have scoliosis or inflammation, arthritis, headaches, yes, migraines, yeah, swelling of the feet, inflammation. And it's a great product.
Bone spurs, like the list goes on and on. It helps with all kinds of pain. It's endless.
So for someone who is, thinking, well, maybe this is something I should try, do you offer any type of sampling that for people who are looking to see if it will work before they, I guess, dive all the way in?
Yes. So at every event that we go to or that we're at, we offer free sampling of every single one of our products, including the soaps. So if they follow us on social media or on Facebook, they will see where we will be at, and they'll be able to come out and try the products for free. But not only that, whenever we have an event, all of our products are 50% off.
So like this Saturday at the Curvy and Confident Awards, you'll have free samples and 50% off.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
I need to post that somewhere. I need to post that somewhere.
Yes.
That's good stuff.
Yes.
That's really good stuff. So right now, if somebody's watching and like, you know what, I can't wait. I need to try these products right now. Where can they go and get your products?
nunaessentialoils.com. So www.nunaessentialoils.com.
Awesome. So what types of events do you guys like to participate in? Because I know there are certain events that are probably very, I guess, brand specific or line up with what your mission is. What type of events are you looking? So if there's someone watching and they're like, man, they would be great to come and be a part of our event, they know that, you guys would definitely be interested.
We do all kinds of events. It doesn't even matter. Like, we find a way to fit in and to help because essential oils are so versatile. Like, you could use them for so many different things. You can even use them on your animals. Yeah. So we have done events with animals. With
Okay.
Yeah. So we do fitness. We fit in everywhere, and we have oils that cater to everything. So we can do any kind of event. We actually host an event every year, a health and wellness event.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what is the vision moving forward? What goals do you have for your business moving forward?
Our goal, most importantly, is to educate people on essential oils.
Yes.
We have a fantastic brand here, but people need the information. Knowledge is power. And sometimes people don't know what they don't know. So our goal is to just go to everywhere we can, all over Georgia, outside of Georgia. We're just trying to expand and just get the knowledge out there that essential oils are very beneficial and they're very helpful.
I love that. I do. Well, before we go, is there anything that you didn't say that you wanted to definitely tell our audience?
Yes, definitely. Please follow us on Instagram at Nuna Essential Oils. Also on Facebook at Nuna Essential Oils. There you'll find our upcoming events, some new products that we do have coming out, as well as some interactive things in the community you can be a part of. So join us, follow us, and hashtag Nuna Organic Essential Oils.
Y'all just like bright lights, love. It's just coming out of you. It's bouncing off. Well, we thank you guys so much for being here and for supporting Curvy and Confident. Like I said earlier, guys, they're going to be here with us Saturday. And in fact, they had planned to do a free spa day here at the station today. And I said, why don't you guys just take whatever y'all were going to do here today and do it with the ladies on Saturday? So that's an even bigger incentive for you to come on out and be a part of the event on Saturday.
That's right.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Can you guys hang around for the end of the show? Because I'm going to bring everybody back to close out the show together.
Yes.
Sounds good?
Sure.
Awesome. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our next guest here on the Regina Sunshine Show at Regina Sunshine Global Network. guys. You're back live on the air at Regina Sunshine here at the Regina Sunshine Show at Regina Sunshine Global Network. And I'm so excited to have our next guest. Welcome to the show, James Cockerham. Did I do it better that time?
Oh, you did it excellently. Great.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, I'm always excited to meet people that are out here doing great work and living lives of excellence. And from everything I've been told about you, you're definitely one of those people. And I'd like to mention how I met someone always looking for like great guests, and someone from your management team reached out to me.
Oh, yeah.
Axe Entertainment reached
Yes,
out to me.
Felicia.
Yeah, so wanted to have you here. So shout out to them. Thank you
Thank you,
for
Felicia.
great guests. So do this for our audience. Tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Okay, my name is James Cockerham. I'm BMI writer as well as BMI publisher, music composer, and playwright. I've recorded 6 albums, 4 CDs, and I've written 4 musical stage productions. In my stage productions, the very first one called Come Home, John Patton. I don't know if you remember him or not, but he was Suge's dad in The Color Purple. And I also presented A Gift of Love at the Rialto, and it starred Ruby D. Davis. And that was a highlight of my career, to just have her, a phenomenal woman in the show. And it also featured P.J. Morton was in it, Q, Little G, Shantae Can, Vivica Fox came for the opening. So, of course, I was floating on a cloud for that.
Yes.
And then I've written another one called Lifestyle, Not a Religion, Songs from the Book of James. Of course, everybody always asks, is that James in the Bible? But you have to come to the play and find out. Then I wrote Secret Diary of the Treasure Troves, and that was for my family reunion, but we presented it at a theater. And of course, it's part fiction, part true, because we can't tell all our family secrets. It's just not good for family relationships to tell everything.
For family relationships, yes.
Family relationships. So that's who I am. Young age of 65, in case you can't tell. I got my master's in orchestration for film and television from Berklee College of Music, and I've been orchestrating since then. Aretha Lockhart is the one who encouraged me to do that. She said, James, when you play like an orchestra. I really didn't know what she was talking about until I actually started taking the classes. And they would give you certain songs to orchestrate. And it's not cheating, it's a gift. I would sit down and play the song, and then I would take all the little separate parts and assign them to different instruments. And it was an orchestral piece. So I was excited about that. The last big event that occurred, well, there have been several after that, but in August, I had written an arrangement of Lift Every Voice and Sing. And in the arrangement, it's what's called a fantasia. It takes you through different moods, and of course begins in Africa with the drums, and we do a 12/8 rhythm, and then there's the middle section of the arrangement that deals with us being brought to America from Africa, and on the I call it a chaotic texture in that section of the song. Imagine us this close, traveling all the way from Africa to the U.S. There was no, excuse me, may I go to the restroom? We were like cattle. So imagine having to ride like that, eat, go to the bathroom, all in the same place. And there's a section in the song that is the lower brass section. And when the orchestra was first playing it, they went da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, because that's how they train. And then when I told them the story, and by the way, this was Gateway's Music Festival in Rochester, New York, Eastman School of Music. And we had 125 classically trained musicians who played with major orchestras from around the world. And they were playing my work. But when I explained to them what it was, imagine sitting there and looking at someone who gets sick. And instead of da 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 da, it became ba 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 bum ba.
Oh,
They captured it. They nailed it. I have a new appreciation for classical music because they are outstanding musicians, and I see why they play with major orchestras, because not only do they play what's written, but they know how to interpret what's written.
yes.
So of course that was the big event. The guy called and he says, "Well, we have a song written by two African Americans, two African American brothers, J. Rosamond and James Weldon Johnson, arranged by an African American composer and performed by an African American orchestra." And as we continued the discussion, this event took place 100 years, 1919, Lift Every Voice and Sing was adopted as the official Negro national anthem by the NAACP. So 100 years later, it's been performed by an African American orchestra. So I don't think, as you mentioned earlier, things happen by accident. But I'm excited about that. So that's sort of the latest. Of course, Kingdomwood Film Festival. I did an evening of gospel jazz at James Cochran. But those are a few things I'm doing.
Just a few things that he's doing.
Oh, and I can't forget, my next project is going to be social consciousness. I mentioned the 6 albums of 4 CDs. Well, all of those have been gospel projects. But my next project is social consciousness, because I've written songs about things that happen to everybody, not just Christians. But if you're a Christian, if you're a Jew, if you are Muslim, if you're Hare Krishna, everybody understands about love. Everybody has a family that they love. So, what good is to have all of this great understanding as a Christian and not be able to share that gift with everybody?
Absolutely.
So, just as you have behind you, you have a picture of the world. My desire is that people around the world will be able to relate to these songs from a social consciousness perspective. But we are gearing in on African Americans in the U.S. There's a song called Let Them Go. And my son has told me to keep my mouth shut about who's on this project. But they're friends of his. They all call me Pops. My son plays with P.J. Morton. He's the bass player, and he's played with Greg Robinson, and he travels all over the country, 6 continents in 1 year, as a musician. But he's the one that inspired me to go to Berkeley and get my master's in music.
Well,
But
it sounds
if I don't stop, you won't ask me any more questions.
yeah,
will
I
you?
was just gonna say, it sounds like your entire life has been filled with music, and I wonder, is that the only dream you ever had? Was that your first dream and first love?
Well, I remember my aunt holding me as a little toddler and banging on the piano. And then I remember that same piano as a 6-year-old, or maybe 4 or 5, but I had to reach
Yeah.
just to touch the notes. So it's always been a passion. I started playing for choirs in the 7th grade. And then, unfortunately, the pianist at the church had a stroke. So they called and asked me to come and fill in, and we'd practice with the Vacation Bible School group. And I played, and I remember the pastor saying, "Son, you need the church, and the church needs you." So I played in the church. My brothers wanted to start a little group, so we had a little jazz group. So I'm playing in church on Sundays, the clubs. I went to college and did the same thing, jazz clubs. And then I even got in a rock band, first integrated group in the county, in small town, North Carolina. But we played everything from Allman Brothers, and then I got another Zydeco group, and we played with the New Orleans style. So, I'm just, for 35 years, I was in management, 12 in corporate. But in 2000, I was afforded the opportunity to do music full time.
That's a beautiful thing.
So, and I'm doing what I love, and folks keep asking me, well, when are you going to retire? And it's like, when I die, or when my hands won't move. But now I know if I call Noonan Organic, I don't have to worry about this arthritis and hands hurting. I can continue to play.
That's
So,
right.
and I do believe in networking. I think it's very important for us. 1619 to 2019, or the 400 years, I think we're free. But I think we, like the Israelites, it's going to take us 40 years for us to realize that we're free. I've got to help Regina, as Regina is helping me. I have to help Nuna Organic, as Nuna Organic helps me. And if we begin to build this network, I think our children will understand we're independent.
See, you're speaking my love language. You're speaking my heart right now, because that's everything I do is about building people and building connections, because it goes back to what you said about love. I've often said I've been loved a lot in my life, and I want everybody to know what it feels like to be loved that way. And love is an action word. So if I love you, then I support you.
Yeah.
And I help you, and I make sure your dreams come true. And if you love me, we do the same. And so when we partner together, we get so much more done as a unified collective than we do as individuals. And I think that's the part that has been missing for us. We've been torn apart and separated, and we need to come back to this place where we recognize you're my brother. Yeah. And if I see you like that, if I see you like you're my family, then I treat you like you're my family, and I love you that same way.
Oh, yeah. I definitely believe in unconditional love. If the only reason I'm on your show is because I think I can get something out of it or get something out of you, the Bible says heathens do that. But I love you from the time I walked in the room. And the best part is you don't even have to love me back. That's the unconditional love.
I understand. This is a whole other, it's interesting that this conversation, because I've had this conversation recently, just in my work with people. I've run into so many people that have been broken and hurt, and that don't believe that unconditional love is there for them. They say, oh, that's for, I see other people being loved unconditionally, but not for me. And it's always one of my goals that when I encounter someone, that I leave you feeling loved, that you can say, well, this person, if I don't run into anybody else that showed me love, today I was loved.
Yeah. And my advice I always give to friends is, Regina, you are not baby Jesus. Let it go. You cannot take your feelings, your thoughts, and put them in someone else's head. It won't fit.
It won't.
It won't fit. But you be happy with you. There's one of the songs on the upcoming CD that's called Looking Out. And that's Regina sitting here looking out the window of your eye. If you look around the room, you'll see that you're looking out. There's a line in the song that says, thoughts are in the hands of the one who created them. So the lyrics say, looking out the window of the eye is a reflection that does not see beyond the darkness in the center. It grows wide, pulling closer into inside, afraid to be, afraid to die. What was before now is, looking in a mirror, seeing what is now, seeing what was, seeing what might be, looking out the window of the eye. So I'm gonna need to come back and tell the folks when it's available. Thoughts in the hands of the one who created them. Don't you dare let those thoughts jump in your head and act like they're trying to drive you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a whole other conversation. But as I listen to you talk, it feels to me like you're living in your purpose, that you are walking in space that you were divinely created to walk in. Do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah. That's my gift. My gift is I'm an encourager. if you call me and say, James, I had a flat tire. I say, well, where was the flat tire? And you say, well, in my driveway. And I say, aren't you glad you weren't coming back from Nashville, going up that 4-mile incline, coming down the other side, going 75 miles an hour, your right tire blows out, you flip over the mountain 9 times and end up on the bottom? Aren't you glad it was your driveway? And you say, yeah. If you put it like that, yeah. Yeah. So perspective, how you're seeing things, that's what's going to make the difference. How you're seeing things. You know, you can say, when I was listening to you talking about this, oh, he loved me, but he don't love me. No. You know what I started thinking? Thoughts are in the hands of the one who created them. The Lord said, Regina, I have given you a gift to write. And you're sitting up here not using that gift. I know how to fix it. I'll send somebody over there and get you stimulated. He sent them. They came in your head. They left because served the purpose.
Serve the purpose.
Serve the purpose.
I believe that.
That's
I do.
perspective. That's perspective. How are you viewing it? Are you viewing it as my heart's hurting? Or are you viewing it as, thank you, Lord? Nothing gets me any more than someone who, Lord, lead me, guide me, direct me, show me what to do, show me what to say. I believe you, Lord. And the Lord says, go here. And you're like, I ain't going over there. That ain't the Lord speaking to me. But you just trusted him.
Yes.
So trust that was an event that was supposed to happen in your life.
I believe, and that's why I put it under my thankful section.
See?
I put it under my thankful section.
Let it go.
In the beginning, I didn't have that perspective. Don't, you hush.
Say it one more time. Let it go. Let it go. Thoughts are in the hands of the one who created them.
Absolutely. And Tansy knows one of the things that I've had to do through this situation is to renew my mind and to make sure that I'm pouring in. I mean, me and Dr. Cindy Trim have been great friends over the course of this journey, but because of the work that I do have to come and be, open about, because for some reason, as a lady interviewed me in a magazine in Columbia, South Carolina years ago, and she told me, she said, Regina, be transparent on your journey. She said, because people think sometimes God uses us because we have it all together and that we're special. She said, they need to know that as leaders, as, ministers, that we also go through things. And that has been something that I've kind of taken personally to share some things, not everything that I go through. And especially since I'm going to be doing this thing on Thursday. But I thank you for your words. I do. I receive them completely. I know. You too? I do, because that has been a part of this healing process to recognize the good that has come from it. And one of the things, after a 20-some year marriage and thinking that I'd never find love again, this was a moment for me to recognize that there was and there is, and God still answers prayers.
And the love is writing.
Yes.
The love is writing.
I've got, I know 33 pieces I've written in the last 8 months. 33.
Thank you, Father.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Lord.
you.
Yes.
And you give thanks for each one.
I do, because those parts I didn't know were still inside of me. It awakened something that I didn't even remember. It's interesting how we forget certain parts through life, through being a wife and a mama and everything else. You lose certain pieces of yourself, and then situations like this, you rediscover those things.
And don't ever think that Satan is not real, because he'll convince you. He will convince you of foolish things. Now, even with my encouraging self, when the Lift Every Voice and Sing arrangement was being considered by Gateway's Music Festival, the little voice on the shoulder, they're going to call you at the last minute and tell you that they're not going to be able to use your piece. And it was starting to bother me. They haven't called me back. What if the phone rings and it's true? I entertained the thought. But then I had a revelation. I said, Lord, I'm going to put it in your hands. If they call and say they're not going to do it, it's okay. If they call and say they're going to do it, it's okay. Let your will be done in my life. Absolutely. And when I prayed that prayer, that's when I realized that that song was selected out of 30 people who had submitted pieces to be performed. I didn't know it. Sometimes it's better when you don't know things. I had no idea. I would have even been more nervous. But after I prayed that prayer, because I like you, well, Lord, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I want you to do. Would you fix that person? Would you please stop this person? And you, Lord, let your will be done.
Perfect will versus permissive will.
Yeah. So even today, if you had called and canceled, I would have been fine. But the Lord led me here, so it's in His will. The beautiful people I've met since I've got here, it's in His will. It just makes life easier to go with what God's leading you to. Accept it.
Yes.
Even those things that you don't understand. Why in the world? Just, okay, Lord, and move on. It makes life easier. And I guess it's gray hair talking, but I'm glad I got gray hair.
You were sent here for purposes beyond the music today. You're looking at me with that sign. I see you over there. If y'all don't know, I'm talking to my producer Tansy behind the scenes.
Am I supposed to be gone?
No, you're not supposed to be gone.
Guest.
You're supposed to be gone.
Oh, I've already met your next guest. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I want you to tell us about what you have coming up before you go.
Oh my goodness, what I have coming up. I guess the next biggest thing is the Virginia Symphony Orchestra is going to be playing the arrangement as well. Harlem Philharmonic Orchestra is going to be playing my work. But the next big thing is releasing this social consciousness project. Now, we're going back and forth on whether we'll release one song at a time or whether we'll release the whole project. So you guys can contact me and let me know. I want to hear all 10 songs. How Do You Hate in the Name of Love? Judge and Jury all wrapped in one. There's another one called Love in My House. I've got just as much love in my house as you have in yours. And just because you have more things, that don't make you no better than me. This is a nice little blues, Zydeco, New Orleans feel to that one. What say we? Is it best to just be silent? Unless they're stealing from me. They broke in 2 doors down, they broke in. But when it happens to you, everybody's supposed to know about it. What say we? Looking Out, we've already talked about that one. I'm a Winner. Life was not easy in my neighborhood. It took skills to survive, but I had a teacher who taught me how to think. My neighborhood is changing. I just bought my street. I'm a winner. Let Them Go. A young African-American brothers being 15 years for smoking a joint, yet other children their age are snorting coke at a rock concert. And the police don't bother to take them down because they know they're going to get right out. It's interesting that the private prison system, the ones that are building all these prisons, also own black TV networks
and music,
and they are programming us in the Let Them Go song. It says 4 walls. And I worked in correctional when I was in management. I worked in corrections. But this is a scene in the prison. 4 walls, a ceiling, and a floor. Where's the key that opens the door? Great minds poison, thoughts controlled. Mind is free, but not for long. Cat has 9 lives. They gave him 2. Freedom came, but he didn't know what to do. Cat has 9 lives. They gave her 4. Freedom came, but she came back for more. But then there's another one called Let It...
We're going to go to break. You don't have to run. I know. I've enjoyed you so much. And the audience has, the Nuna Cinchilla's over there giving you the thumbs up as well. Do this for our audience. Tell them where they can follow you and how they can get your music.
Okay, I'm on Instagram, Brother Cockerham, Cockerham. Phonetically, it looks like Cockerham.
Yeah,
I have relatives who say we're Cockerhams, but my aunt says it's Cockerham. My uncle says it's Cockerham, so you get to choose. My son was in London. He said, "Daddy, nobody has a problem pronouncing our name." He said, "They say Cockerham." But in London, they say Buckingham Palace. In Atlanta, we say Buckingham Palace. So that's the name, Brother Cochran. I think that's my Twitter name as well as the Instagram, or just Google me. Uh, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Everywhere.
I never go to MySpace anymore. I
Oh my
forgot I had
God.
that one. That's what happens when you get older. But if when in doubt, just Google the name and it'll take you to music on YouTube. You can listen for a whole day because CDBaby.com has put all of them out and they're streaming. You can Pandora, any of those places. Just type in the name and you can hear me.
Well, I thank you so much for being here.
Thank
And
you, Regina.
same thing I told the Nuna ladies. After we interview Mr. Jones, we're going to bring everybody back and let you guys have one last opportunity to say a word of encouragement to our audience. Sound
Thank
good?
you. Thank you so much.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. And the man, Glenn Jones, is in the building, and he will be live here on the Regina Sunshine Show at Regina
Glenn.
Sunshine Global Network. All right, you guys, you are back live with Regina Sunshine at the Regina Sunshine Show at Regina Sunshine Global Network. Hope you're not just tuning in, but if you are, you can always go back and rewatch the show on YouTube or Periscope or Facebook or wherever, any of those places that we stream. But I'm so excited to introduce you to our final guest today, which most of you probably, probably needs no introduction, but welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Glenn
Finally.
Jones. Did you say
Yeah.
finally?
Been trying to do this for a while.
We
I know.
have been.
Yeah,
Tanya and I have been going back and forth about getting you. In fact, she was here with a client once before when she first
Yes.
mentioned your name. And she
Right.
was like, would you like to have Glenn Jones? I was like, what do you mean? Would I? Yes, let's make it happen.
Wow.
So thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, my standard question, as you heard the
Yes.
other guests, is tell everybody who you are and what you do. So I'm going to let you, from your words,
Okay.
tell the people who you are.
Well, I'm a recording artist. I'm a songwriter and a record producer. I've been in the business for 30 plus years. And I grew up in church doing gospel. And I made the transition to R&B back in '80 when I met this jazz producer named Norman Connors. And from there, I was featured on one of his albums. He released a single that I did. It went top 15. I got an offer from RCA Records to sign a deal with them, and I've been recording records ever since.
I'm telling you, your music is the kind of music that you stare out the window
See?
to, and yeah.
Yeah, well, I have been told, by many, many guys that my music was the kind of music they wanted to play when they were trying to convey certain feelings, trying to get close to somebody. But, the interesting thing is that the conversation you had with Brother Cochran there was about how music, it's about love. And being that I was out of the church, out of the Pentecostal church, I went through a lot of changes with making the transition from gospel to R&B. So, was something wrong with that. I was doomed to go to hell and, all that good stuff. And my mother was an evangelist and missionary, and she encouraged me, and she didn't see anything wrong with what I was doing because it was about love. And so I continued to do what I do, and now a lot of times I have churches that bring me in to do concerts and stuff, and marriage retreats and all that good stuff. Because even though, it's my music is about love in a lot of different ways. the family love and love between a man and a woman, his mate or whatever. And it's about love and commitment and all that good stuff that relationships come with. And many times there have been people that said that you should make your music a little more sexual or whatever. I didn't see the necessity in that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that I've stood my ground and I'm still doing the same kind of music. Matter of fact, I released a single with his pastor, Regina Bell is his pastor. Yeah, and I released a single called Love by Design last year, which did very well for us. And I've known Regina's brother, Bernard Bell, for years. We wrote I've Been Searching together and some other stuff,
That's
you know.
beautiful. In college, my nickname was Regina Bell. Not the cock and sing, but it's because
Yeah,
I was Regina at the time. Well,
yeah.
the thing about music, especially the music, your music is so universal in terms of reaching people. You hear it and everybody can relate, right?
Yes, yeah.
To the feelings of love and everything, and especially one of my favorites. We've only just begun. That
Yes.
I mean, I've been singing it all day, just thinking
Yeah.
about you being here.
Yeah.
So, how does it feel to know that your gift and what you've given the world is something that is that thing that reaches people the way it does?
It feels great because it's a dream come true. I mean, I started singing when I was 5 years old, and to sit here now and to have done music, all my life professionally, to have made a living, a good living off of it, it's an amazing thing. The fact that God gave me a gift and I was able to take it around the world and make a difference,
Yeah.
and at the same time make a few dollars. So that's where I am with it.
That's beautiful. I always tell people to be able to do what you love and to make money at the same time.
Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
And and so often we kind of people push our young people and oh, go to this career because it makes this amount of money. But my question is
Yeah.
always, what do you love?
What do you love?
What would you do if people said money was no object, all your bills? What's that thing that your heart desires
Right.
most?
Well, for me, at a young age, I used to say, Lord, just allow me to make enough money to pay for an apartment and get a car and, buy groceries. And he took me so far beyond that, so I am living the dream.
Yeah. Well, my friends have been texting me all night. Like, is this the real Glenn Jones? Are you playing with us? And I was like, yes, it is. One lady, and actually she lives here in Douglasville, was like, it's been my dream to have him sing at my wedding. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. But it's just the reaction of so much love and affection
Yes.
from people that I know, knowing that you were going to be here and just what your music has meant to them, even blessed me.
Wow. And that's the thing is that, I've had people to come to me and tell me that my music has blessed them. They were going through something in their relationship, in their marriage, and because of one particular song that they heard, it made a difference, and I've had people to come to me and tell me that, well, this is the song that I used for my wedding. This was my favorite song. I remember Yolanda Adams, I wrote a song called In You. Matter of fact, I wrote it with Bernard Bell, Regina Bell's brother. In You I Found Perfect Love, and Yolanda used that for her wedding. One of Farrakhan's daughter, she used that for her wedding. Matter of fact, she wanted me to come to the palace and sing at the ceremony, but I was booked elsewhere at that time. And then to go to different parts of the world. I went to South Africa back in June. I went to Johannesburg, and I went to can't think of the other city I went to. But anyway, I was there with Brian Simpson headlining on a jazz festival, and the music that they wanted to hear was songs that were never released as singles. Never. People here in the States probably wouldn't know them because they didn't hear them on the radio 100,000 times. But the music that they chose were was the music that the lyrics was so uplifting, and the lyrics were commitment and all of that kind of stuff. And I sleep good knowing that that's the kind of music that I do.
we so need you right now because there is an absence of a void of that type of real love music. And so for those of us who have grown up with that, we also want our young people to experience that. So I'm excited that you are releasing new
Right.
music, keeping the love alive. So tell us
Yes.
about your new projects.
The new album is called Love by Design, and like I said, the title track was a duet with me and Regina Bell. I released that last year, and then I recently came with another single called You and Me, which features the great jazz guitar player Nick Coleon. And we've just released that over in Europe. We're releasing a smooth jazz version and the R&B version over there. We're going to even release it on vinyl, because they like that kind of stuff over there. We're going to do that. And then the album is coming out early spring. I've got some great people that I collaborated with. My my wife, her name is Genovia Jeter Jones, and she's a great singer. I've got a song on there with her called Trust in Me, was something that I wrote when I was going through something. And then I have another song called Family Time, which is incredible. My friend Chucky Booker. Chucky Booker is the musical director for Lionel Richie right now. He's been with Janet Jackson, all of them. He produced a track for me called Family Time, and my niece Iyanna Crawley is singing on that. And Iyanna is an amazing singer. She won Sunday's Best back in '09. She's doing that record with me.
Family thing.
Yeah, then I'm featuring Kim Waters on a song, amazing sax player, and a lot of people just came forth and just gave me love, me and Brother Cochran was talking about that earlier, about that's what the record and the recording industry has, turned into be, because you don't have the budgets and the money that you used to have, when you could pay people a lot of money. So I'll call up Kim, or he'll call me up and say, "Yo, man, I got this track. What you need?" Good thing about it, you can just email me the file. I can just cut it at the house, cut my vocals in the house. But and the album it's got 10 songs and 2 bonus tracks. Just an amazing record. I'm really excited and grateful for the kind of project that I have.
I hope y'all consider doing a listening party here
Oh
in
yeah,
the area. That would
we
be
got to do that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
got to do that.
we got some space around
Yeah.
here. This wall is retractable. It
See?
doubles.
Oh, it does.
It doubles.
Oh,
the
okay.
space. I'm just saying.
Hey, we can you call your girl Tanya.
I'm gonna call
She'll work
Tanya.
it out.
I'm gonna call you about that. I think,
We're gonna call you, Tanya.
especially because people in Douglasville keep saying that they need more music and cultural things
Right.
here. More people are moving out this
Douglasville,
way into
yeah.
Douglasville,
Yeah.
and so every time people come through here, they're like, "Why don't you do some music events here? Why don't you do something?" Okay,
Right.
Tanya, I'm gonna call you.
Yeah.
But I think that would be something beautiful to bring to the people of Douglasville.
Well, I know it's not out in Douglasville, but I am playing the City Winery on December the 19th. So those of you that want to get a little Christmas treat,
Ooh.
come to City Winery December the 19th to check me out.
Well, we talked before, even in relation to Mr. Cochran's interview, just about this life of love and music and everything. What, when you think about the rest of your life and the things you want to do, what things haven't you done yet that you want to do?
One thing that I want to do is I want to play pretty much every song that I've ever recorded. I've got like 13 albums. So I want to play every song that I ever recorded, all the songs that I've written that I never get a chance to, because people get they get accustomed to
Certain songs.
certain
yeah.
songs. They
Yeah.
play the hits, play the hits, play the hits. But there's music and there are songs in that project, or in those projects, that might be even greater than the hits that you know.
Yeah.
But because you had certain, A&R people in the record label calling the shots, wanting you to release this as a single and as a single. I've got a lot of songs that are my favorites that people have never heard. I want to get a chance to just play all my music, around the world.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
All of my music tour, something like that. That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be, see.
That would
Uh-huh.
be beautiful.
I'm writing that down, all of my music tour, okay? Boom.
Do it.
Yeah. Might have to get Brother Cochran to help me with that.
That sounds well.
Help orchestrate that.
I always talk, and I mentioned before about this being a space of divine appointments. And when y'all were talking, I was like, okay, Lord, another divine appointment, another
I
one.
saw you. I saw you listening. I saw you.
I was like,
you.
yeah,
You
I
was
love
perking
it.
up. I saw you over there.
I love it. In fact, a friend of mine told me once I should begin recording, make a list of the people who've met here, and then go on just to show that the things that have happened in this space. I've had people come in, and one brother had a speaking engagement, take one with him, and they go speak together. And I love hearing that they connected and went on and did something great together.
Well, like you were speaking about earlier, the effect that we can have on one another, helping one another.
Yes.
And it is about love. That's what's wrong with the world now. It's so, I don't know, man, so much anger and bitterness in the world. And, sometimes people tend to think that that's a corny thing to say. But we need each other to live and to make it. We just do. And that's the purpose. That's why God put us here, not for us to try to be islands or individuals, but to reach out to one another and make things better. And I believe in that, and I try to do that. I have a foundation called the Love Jones Foundation.
Yes.
Which is what we do is we cater to who we consider to be the forgotten seniors, and we go into these facilities. I take my little rhythm section in. And we love on them. We raffle off and give them gifts and stuff. And then I play from Nat King Cole to Frank Sinatra to Temptations to Andre Crouch or whatever. Because we don't just go to the predominantly African American places. We go to a mixture of people. White and black. Because they all need love. And we try to do that just to encourage them. I got that idea because my mother, in later years when she began to have health problems and kind of, health was starting to decline, she wanted me to go in the studio and record like 4 or 5 gospel songs with just me playing my guitar and singing. And I did that, and that was a company keeper that kept her. So music is an amazingly strong thing. It's a very it transcends and it lifts people. It elevates, and we do that. And then sometimes I go into the Boys and Girls Clubs, and we do PowerPoint presentations to try to show them the history of music. Because everything they hear now on the radio, they think it's new. They're like, no, Miles Davis recorded that back in 1950 something. That ain't new, And they need to know that. They don't know what a cassette is. They truly don't know what 8-track is, or the reel or the vinyl. We show them all of that, and then we try to encourage them to pursue their musical dreams. We have a situation at one location at the Boys and Girls Club where they have a recording studio in there. So we take them in there and we show them how to put a beat down, put the beat down, then get behind the mic and do spit on the mic like they say, spit the mic or whatever, and then we're in the process of like trying to groom, some of the young people. I found a kid named Levi, who's an amazing singer. He has a voice like an angel. Little young kid, I think Levi's about 16.
Yeah.
A little white kid, but he blew me away. So we're doing stuff like that and trying to raise money for instruments and stuff like that. Because when I was coming up in school, we had that, that music program was solid in school. And from what I understand now, a lot of schools, they no longer have that.
Yeah, they're taking funding from those areas.
Yeah, that's important because that gave me my direction and my confidence and my self-esteem.
Yes.
So that's what I'm trying to do for them.
Well, I'm really blessed by what you're doing with your Love Jones Foundation. That's
Thank
a
you.
beautiful thing to be able to take your gifts and now give back to others, especially when you mentioned going into the senior centers and places like that, because those are often our forgotten spaces.
Yes.
And my dad, had a stroke a couple years back, and he's in a facility in Wilmington, North Carolina. Yeah. And even when we go there, we often hear about the ones that no one has been to see, and and those things are heartbreaking. So to hear that you and your foundation have taken the time to spread love there is a wonderful thing.
I love doing it, man. They make me cry, man. I'm not singing. Next thing I know, I'm just overwhelmed and thankful that I have something to give to them. You know, you can only give what you have.
Yes.
And I give them my music, and they appreciate it, and they love on it so much.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Legacy. When you think about your life and what it has meant, what is the legacy that you hope you leave behind?
Well, for me, I've always wanted to be more than just a musician or a songwriter or a singer. I've always wanted to be a good man, you know, a man of God. You know, I want to leave some good things behind. There was an old gospel song that used to sing, "May the work I've done speak for me."
Yeah.
That's all I want.
I love that. I do. I love that. Well, you know, we're going to go to break in a minute and bring the other guests back.
Okay.
Is there anything that's just stirring up in your heart?
No.
I was just saying.
She's slick. She's slick, because I don't know what with them little eyes. You know, the eyes tell on you. Your eyes always give you away.
I just had to say that you can't be in this space with Glenn Jones and not ask that question, right, ladies?
Hey, look, if I had to say anything, I might say, we've only just begun. The romance is not over. Got a lot of love to give, yeah.
Oh my
I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Tell them where they can find your music.
Oh, you can find me on Spotify and any of the platforms, mostly iTunes and all that. And then you can go, if you want to follow me on the social media tip, you can go to Real Glenn Jones on IG, Instagram, Real Glenn Jones on Twitter, and on Facebook, Glenn Jones. And then you can go to my website, glennjonesmusic.com, and make sure you check out my schedule. Come to the show. You know, check us out on the 19th. On December 12th, we're going to be, Toys R Us has decided to give us all these toys. So Tanya and I, we're going to go pick them up, you know, and put together a toy giveaway for the kids and stuff, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we thank you so much for being here and
Thank you.
spending some
Thank you for
time with
having
us.
me. Thank you.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to bring all our guests back, and then we'll close out the show together. You've been live with Regina Sunshine and Glenn Jones here on the Regina Sunshine Show. All right, you guys, you are back live on the air at Regina Sunshine here on the Regina Sunshine Show, and all of my amazing guests from today's show. We've been blessed in studio. I'm full, all overflowing right now. So, but if you've been watching the show for any amount of time, you know I always bring my guests back and give them an opportunity to be a blessing to you and encourage you. And so, my question today, you guys, is how do you stay encouraged? How do you stay uplifted? What is it that you do in your day-to-day life that keeps you encouraged and moving forward?
Yes. Of course, my faith in Christ Jesus. I trust God every day of my life, and knowing that He's in control just makes life every day better. And one of my favorite scriptures is Jeremiah 29:11. It says, "For I don't know plans I have for you, says the Lord, but plans of good, not of evil, to give you a future and a hope." And so knowing that God has a future and a hope for your life, whatever you're going through, just trust Him. Whatever you've been through is going to make you greater. Whatever you face in your life is just your testimony for somebody else. So keep believing. Take every day. Know that sunshine is on the way for you, and there's hope for you, and God has a plan for your life.
Girl, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, go ahead.
So one, I do meditate as well every day, and I trust in God to direct my life, and I listen and obey His will and plan for my life. But one of the books that I read on a daily basis that keeps me encouraged, because as business professionals, we go into a world full of people who are not believers. So we have to continue to lift each other up and encourage each other. So one book that I read is called Fasting from Negative Thinking, and it's by Dr. Elijah Ajose. That book has changed the way that I think and changed the way that I deal with people and changed the way that I do business. So that book really, really encourages me.
That's good. So I'm trying to take notes while you're talking,
Writing it
so
down.
I can look that up. That's good stuff. Thank you so much for
Yes.
sharing, Mr. Jones.
Well, for me, I wake up every morning, thanking God for life, health, and strength, and I lay there and I meditate and I think about the things that I want to do. And what I stopped doing was trying to chase and call my shots. I don't do that anymore. I let it just happen. Like you said, trust in God. That's why I told you I wrote the song with my wife. Trust in me.
Yeah.
That's all I have. And my mother told me two things when I was young. She told me that my talent, my gift would make room for me, and she told me that my life was in God's hands. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Cochran.
Well, every morning I get up is thanking God just for another day and asking Him to direct my path. And I read the Word every morning.
Amen.
I often share with my friends, we could fill up all this 20,000 square feet of space from floor to ceiling with books on religion. But out of all those books, you have to choose one. And I've chosen the Bible. So if you want to just get into deep discussions with me, it's got to be Bible-based, because that's the only thing I know.
Yes.
That's not to say I don't love everybody, because I have friends who are Muslim, Hare Krishnas, I'm Jewish. But for me, they know where I stand.
Yes.
I'm a Christian, and I have no problems with it. And that's how I can love everybody. But I would encourage you to just pick up your Bible. If you can't think of what to read, just read Proverbs every day.
Yes.
You'll find yourself saying things and you wonder, well, where that came from. But Proverbs, 31 Proverbs, one for every day of the month.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you guys so much. Thank you for sharing. It's been an awesome show. I'm so excited that this has turned out the way it has. And I have a feeling we all will find ourselves in the same space again, like this space with Glenn, Mr. Cochran doing some stuff on the stage. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I got to holler at them too. Right? Yeah. Nuna, organic. Yeah.
Well, to my audience, I thank you for tuning in and being with us. I'll leave you with the words I always leave you with. Remember this: God loves you just the way you are. You are beautiful because you were created in love. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You have the seeds of greatness within you. You were born to live a victorious life. You are brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. You are worthy of the best things in life. Thank you guys again. It's Regina Sunshine Curvy and Confident Week. Go to Eventbrite or reginasunshine.com. Get your tickets. Join us at any of the events we're having this week. Nuna Organics will be here Saturday. Free samples and 50% off products. Y'all might want to come through just to see them. All right. And that's it. Well, I leave you with my personal motto. I always say it's not over till I win. If I hadn't won yet, that just means it's not over. So I tell you today, it's not over till you win. If you hadn't won yet, baby, that just means it's not over. Be blessed and keep winning. We're out.